Let's be honest, some of you would have done this latest fusion and not got your hands on the legendary champion and now have your hands on a bunch of Ghomm Yellowhands. So the question is he any good? Can we use him in normal gameplay or should we just use him as food? Well, we'll be answering that today by taking a look at his abilities and the areas of gameplay that he might do pretty well in. Spoiler alert. Don't waste this guy. He's definitely got some pretty good uses. Now, before we get into that, just a quick heads up that if you want a fresh start in Raid Shadow Legends, click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen, and that will get you an amazing fresh start with 1 legendary champ and 3 epics as you level up. And you can choose between one of these legendary champs in the promo code section within 24 hours of starting your account. And don't forget, we've got the Lemon-Easy Chase, so you can get a triple legendary, triple epic start right now. It's never been a better time to start a brand new Raid Shadow Legends account. So let's get into this anyway. Today's video is about Ghomm Yellowhand, right? What I'm going to do is I'll put the QR code over here and make it a little bit smaller so that we can talk about his stats. Right, he is a Void support epic champion. So being a Void support, he already has some benefits over other supports in a lot of cases. The best champion that I can compare this guy to in a lot of ways is Karato. Now, you might already have Karato, so, you know, you might not get as much use out of him. If you don't have Karato, or you need a Skinwalker support, or you're interested about the potential value of having a Void support like Karato, then Ghomm Yellowhand is absolutely worth checking out. We've really got to go through his abilities first, and then we'll take a look at his performance in game. Right now, I've got him as level 50. We've ascended him. We don't have any souls from him or anything like that. And we've built him like with some fairly decent gear. I mean, you really want to build him with a lot of speed. We've got 260 speed on him, which is not bad considering, you know, he's a level 50. Obviously, you want as much HP and defense as you can possibly get, and accuracy and some resistance if you can as well. Those are the main things that you want to go for with him being support. So I've personally gone for a defense gloves, HP percent chest, speed boots of course, and then speed gear with a little bit of feral gear along the way as well. If I could build another set of speed gear, I probably would, but I didn't have it sitting around, so we've got him in that. So let's take a look at his abilities and see what he does. So whenever an ally is attacked, his turn meter will be filled by 5%. Now, that means he can have his turn faster. So, Ghomm Yellowhand can potentially be really, really fast and get out his skills very, very often, which is really, really quite good when we take a look at his skills. Firstly, though, his A1 attacks one enemy 2 times, has a 30% chance of a leech, and a 30% chance of a heal reduction. Not the best things on the A1. The A1's kind of okay, not the best, right? This isn't the main part of his kit. It's just okay. And as you level it up, you will get increased chance of hitting that buff and debuff. Debuff. So, you know, it's okay, not the best. The A2, though, is where things start to get pretty interesting. With the A2, we have a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Compare that to Karato. It's the same, right? It's the 30% increased speed buff for 2 turns. And also fills the turn meters of allies by 15%. In Ghomm's case, it has a different feature. It does a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 1 turn. So you've actually got a bit of healing with Ghomm. So it has a little bit of different use case than Karato. He's not going to fill turn meter, but he's going to increase the speed and provide healing, which is actually pretty good. And once it's booked up, you can reduce the cooldown to 3 turns instead of 5. So I've booked it up already. That's pretty good. A 2-turn big speed buff on a 3-turn cooldown means you're going to be providing a team with a lot of speed fairly often. But then it gets more interesting when we go to the A3. Attacks all enemies, decreases the turn meters of all enemies by 15%, and has a 50% chance of placing a stun debuff, and the damage is based on attack. And as you book this up, you can get it to an 85% chance with a 3-turn cooldown. He's an epic champ, so it's going to be fairly easy to book up. That's a pretty good skill, and that's going to come in handy in a lot of cases. And if we look at Karato has a 50% chance of decreasing the turn meter by 15%, but he has a 50% chance of getting a stun debuff on all enemies. And if that's fully booked up, it's an 85% chance, which is amazing. That's actually really, really good. So the way that I would build Ghomm and the things that I would potentially put him in is sort of like clearing waves in different dungeons. So, for example, in Campaign, in Spirit Keep, in Finite's Castle, in Dragon, you know, you want to be able to go first as Ghomm, put down that stun and the increased speed and healing, and just make sure that he keeps putting these debuffs down, right? If you can get this to a 3-turn cooldown and you're stunning enemies for 1 turn, you're going to have, what, every 3 turns? Like, basically 30% of the match, the enemies will be stunned, right? Obviously, it's not a 100% chance. It's only a 85% chance if you fully book it up. But that is pretty amazing. In fact, I'm hoping that we can fully book him up with that skill here. Yes, we're going to be able to. So now we are going to have an 85% chance of hitting that. Let's have a look. Yes, buff, debuff chance, plus 10%, plus 15%. So that is an 85% chance. Sorry, no, I'm bad with math. It's a 75% chance. Still very good. 3 and 4 chance that you're going to hit that stun. So I think the best place that we can find this really in action is a little bit of arena. So let's try and find a team that's going to work out for us here, that we can sort of have a fair matchup. Oh, here we go. A High Katoon. This is actually a good example. So let's try and build a team around this. Obviously, he's not as strong as we could get him right now. He's only level 50. We can build him out stronger. So we're going to be at a bit of a disadvantage taking him into this fight. One other thing is that despite, you know, High Katoon having the speed aura, Ghomm has an attack aura, which is not great, honestly. I'd rather, if he had a speed aura, that would be really, really awesome. So we're going to need another champion with the speed aura in here. It's probably going to have to be Monkey King with the 28%. So that's going to be one of our attack champions done out of the way. This team has built 1 attack champion and sort of like 3 supports. 3 supports and 1 attack. So what we might want to do is sort of build, we're going to get, definitely, obviously, we need Ghomm down. Obviously, the video's about him. And then we're going to get 1 more attack champ. And then we're going to get another support champ. I might go Cardial, just as sort of like a Revive on Death, or Iodex. Or Queen of Hearts. Let's go Queen of Hearts, and we'll see how this goes. Another turn meter booster as well. So let's go into this fight now. Now, Ghomm, if you build him right, and you really should build him like this, he's going to have the most speed possible so that he can go first. You really want him to go first so that we can get the stun down, right? Definitely want to be able to do that. Now, it's going to be a 75% chance of placing that stun across each enemy. So there's 4 enemies, so essentially like 4 coin flips with a 3 out of 4 chance of each one. So when we hit this, it's going to stun them, and we actually hit 2 of them there. So for the next 2 turns, unfortunately, it seems like High Katoon kind of used her turn already, so the stun is gone. But Alice is stunned for a turn, so that's pretty good. So I think what we're going to do is focus our attack actually on High Katoon, because she is going to be a turn meter booster. Let's get rid of that first, right? She's almost eliminated. Here comes the counter attack. We've got 1 more turn. We're going to hit our A3 on Alice. We should be able to finish the High Katoon, and that'll get another attack out. There we go. And then we'll do an ally attack with Queen of Hearts on Madame Ceres. So that stun there basically stopped their arena nuker from even being able to attack. It stopped her. She was stunned. We avoided her and was able to basically capitalize on that. This is really, really good. And then here's the A1 coming out. We got the heal reduction out on Loki, and then we're done. So that's a pretty good example of like how you can use the stun to sort of play around the enemies. You're going to need some pretty heavy hitting single attacks though to really make use of it. Now I want to try him in campaign farming. I'm wondering if we can use him as a bit of a campaign farmer. He's not really a campaign farmer because he's a support champ, but I want to give it a go anyway. So we're going to go 12-3 brutal. Considering he's only level 50, I'm not sure how well this is going to go. But if we have a look at his ratings really quickly, he's rated pretty highly in campaign, which I was quite surprised about. If we have a look here, 4.3. So let's see if he can be a solo campaign farmer and see what the time is. Keep in mind, obviously Alice is like 9 seconds at the moment for finishing this. He doesn't have that much attack, so I doubt it's going to go that well. But we'll put him in anyway, and then put in some food. So we got, let's just get some like tier 3 here. And we're going to just play this, and I want to just see how fast he can clear it, or if he can even clear it himself at all. Some decent damage here. I think that we're going to need to build him out with a bit more attack, though. That first AoE needs to hit hard, and if it doesn't, it's just not going to work. So I wonder if we could build him with a bit of gear, like I could take my nuke gear on him, then maybe he could be a campaign farmer. Right now, this is not fast enough. I'm actually going to try this. I'm really curious if we take him out of the support gear and put all of the gear that Alice is wearing. I wonder how that could work. So Alice right now has got some instinct and righteous gear. So I'm going to do it. I've got the free gear removal. Let's do this. So I'm going to go equipped, and we're going to go 6-star, and we need to go down to the instinct set. I really want to give this a go. Right, I've done it. I put him in my Alice's gear. So now we have some okay stats. We have 100% critical rate and some decent critical damage. So if this A1 can AoE, he could be a good campaign farmer. Obviously, he's a support, so I don't really think he's meant to be built like this, but I'm just curious. I'm really curious about testing this. Let's see. Can he one hit? Ooh. Oh, he can. Wait a minute. Not quite enough damage there. If we tune out his damage a little bit more, I mean, this is not bad, though. He's finishing campaign in a fairly quick time. If he was level 60, this would be a good time. To put it into perspective, my Alice clears this in about 9 seconds. But if we just tuned up his damage a bit more, that would actually be pretty effective. I'm really surprised. He can actually be an effective campaign farmer. Okay, let's give him a go in Minotaur now. I'm really curious now. My Minotaur farm with Alice is obviously pretty good. So let's get Minotaur's Labyrinth out. Usually you're kind of farming up a champion that needs masteries. I think we need some for Harima. We'll take out Alice and we'll put in this. I don't know how this is going to go. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm very surprised that he can be built like this. I didn't have it on auto to begin with, so I kind of messed up there. Yeah, he's not able to clear these waves. I don't think he's going to be good in Minotaur. You want to try and clear this as quickly as possible because it's an extremely time-consuming thing. But that AoE is actually quite surprising. And the increased speed does a decent amount of damage. So he does really hit hard with it. But he just needs a bit more damage to make him effective. And like I say, I'm running him at level 50. So that's something to consider. Oh, and he doesn't quite have enough defense. Okay, he's definitely not suitable for Minotaur. But he's good for arena. He's good for campaign farming if you build him like that. And honestly, he could be good for like Dragon, just clearing the waves with that AoE. I'm quite surprised. I think he's an extremely underrated champion. And you have a lot of freedom to build him how you want. Now, I got to get this gear back on Alice before I run out of my gear removal. Let me know what you think about Ghomm Yellowhand, and I'll see you in the comments.